Welcome to News Echo. I'm glad you are watching. My name is Shegun Johnson, and we've got so many things to discuss with you that has happened in the last 7 days. I've got all my colleagues in the studio as well. All the way from Cameroon, we have Diva Obuks Hebrew. Diva Obuks, you are welcome to the program.
Hello, bonjour.
Bonjour, madame. Ça va?
Ça va bien? Et vous?
Ah, moi, je parle français un peu.
Ah, bon.
We'll be
Nice to
we'll
see
be
you.
hearing
Nice to
from
see
you
you
all the way
again.
from Cameroon, what is going on in Cameroon, the stampede and the rest. So you're welcome to the program. We
Thank
also
you.
have here in London, Mrs. Merriman Yetude Johnson. Yetude, you're welcome to the program.
How are you? Nice to be on. Thank
Yes, good
you.
to see you. You're going
Yeah,
to tell us
thank
a lot of
you.
things about your NGO as the program proceeds. You're welcome.
Thank
We
you.
have on his way to Delta, our man in Abuja, Dr. Osita Anyemeka. Osi, you're welcome to the program. Are we connecting him now, or is somewhere in between? Yes, we should get him now.
Okay.
Dr. Osi, you're there.
Oh,
All right, we'll get him. Don't worry. He's on his way. Our own ambassador, Ambassador Nat Yako, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning,
good
everybody,
morning.
and thank you very much.
Yeah. Hopefully, we will find your brother on the way to Delta.
Okay.
I'm so glad we are here in the studio. Let's say with what's going on in Britain right now, in a few hours, Boris Johnson is supposed to receive the two Grace report that has been looking into his parties when the country was on lockdown. It's understood that he had a birthday party, he had an event party, he had 17 parties in all, examined by two great senior civil servants who has said that that was uh, people have alleged that was against the rules, if not against the law. As if that was not enough, the police in the United Kingdom are now looking at it and may call Boris Johnson into their police station to come and answer some questions. And has never happened in the history of the United Kingdom. So the
Wow.
British Prime Minister will be called in. And so he might be having a serious challenge today. Even it's up to the point he may resign today. But let me ask a man in the city of London, Nat Yakwo, is he going to resign or not?
Well, the issue again. Thank you very much. The issue now is not if but when. I don't know whether it's going to be today, but I can assure you that Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of United Kingdom, is on his way out.
Wow,
Uh,
very blunt. You put it
Wow.
bluntly, innit?
Wow.
yes.
Mm.
And they are beginning to pack their suitcases in number 10. Because as Dr. Johnson said, the once, I mean, in ordinary life, once police is called in, you know how serious it is. The Sue report is going to be very damning on the Prime Minister. Some people have had access to that report, say it's a damning report.
Mm.
And then with the police coming in, uh, you, you, Boris Johnson is a very good politician. He has tried his best. Prime Minister question time in the past
Mm.
2 Wednesdays have been very stormy. Today is going to be, might be his way out. Is going to be a very, very serious, tense, and challenging Prime Minister question time that
Indeed.
we've never had this type of question times where fellow MPs are telling the Prime Minister that you are an idiot.
Mm.
So, I mean, we've never had that type of language being used on the floor of Commons.
Okay, let's see
Well,
how the Europeans are receiving all of these. We have our main man, Macmillan in Miller. Mark Godwin,
Yes, sir.
good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Shagun. Good morning, everybody.
How are
Morning.
you coping in Europe? Boris Johnson may lose his seat. How are
Yes,
the Europeans having a look at
yes, we are following very close, Dr. Shagun. And
it?
like Ambassador Nad said, we think it's all over. The curtain will be drawn, and our man Boris might leave. Initially, we thought some of the actions he took, removing some of these restrictions on COVID, could bring in some respite, but the anger and the people were still, the MPs were still very furious. A lot of people were still giving strong allegations. So the Europeans are watching close, and they know that he might go down. So it's taken that by today evening today, a new government might come up. That's how we see it.
Okay. Yes, he may throw in the towel today, but it takes a few more weeks to get a new leader, and all of those will come in. But let's hear from Nigeria how you will receive it. Diva Books. I know that such things don't happen in our country, but how are you going to copy this one there?
Well, I think Nigeria is going to. I think we're just sitting back and waiting to see what actually is going to happen because, like you said, it's been a totally different experience with Boris Johnson as Prime Minister of the
Mm,
UK, and if some people here are cheering him on, saying, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." Now we have a counterpart in the UK that is, something like some of us. but I don't see him actually staying beyond today. I think he is going to resign because the pressure
yeah,
is high from the people, and it's not expected behavior from a prime minister. And
yeah,
people, the English people have always been a people of proper behavior, quote unquote, if you were to put it that way. So
yeah.
yeah, so I have to think I want to agree with Ambassador that this is what is going to happen by the end of the day. So let's sit back and see.
Yeah, Mrs. Yetunde Johnson, I know you are visiting from Nigeria on another issue, but then how have you found the climate, the political climate so far? You think these people are just being natter, they just want to remove the prime minister? You think he's doing well?
Yeah, I think it's very bad of me, because as far as I'm concerned, um, for what they said is done, I don't think they need to actually prosecute him that much. It's like killing, it's like, what has, I mean, he went to parties and everything. Some of it could be official, and if it's not official,
Mm,
I'm not saying we should cover it up the way, but then I don't think it is that much for him to be in quotes hung for what he has.
yeah,
I mean,
that's fair enough.
we have worse people all over the world who have done worse things, even against humanity, and they're still there. So what has he really done? I think he's just the guy is just a very easygoing, I don't care attitude guy. But at the same time, I think he has a bit of feelings for people, and I think they should just overlook all these things and let him go.
Yeah, that's the motherly love, but there's no forgiveness in politics.
That's the way I look at it anyway. I think he
Yeah,
will
fair
go
enough.
too
That's
much.
his own argument that what is in a party, let's just party
Mm.
on. But there's a time they say, come and take the tap. When your check. Well, we'll see because in this game, there is no forgiveness. That's unfortunately. He's a
Unfortunately.
charismatic person. He brought in 80
Yeah.
parliamentary seats
Mm.
extra into the House
Mm.
of Commons for the Conservative. Many new Conservative MPs are there because of his charisma. But
Mhm.
the British are not forgiven when it comes to making one rule for himself and the rest for
Another one
another.
to do the
So
house.
that is why he's been punished. And many people died. They could not bury their loved ones. Many people were sick. They could not see their loved ones in the hospital.
Mm.
In the meantime, he was boogie down, in the number 10. So he may not likely survive it. If he survives it today, like Ambassador Nat said, he won't survive it for the rest of the week or in the next coming week. So we know he's leaving, and we are just going to be speculating who's going to be the next prime minister. Is it going to be the Chancellor of the Exchequer or Liz Truss, who is the Foreign Affairs Secretary? But we'll leave that because we have so many things to discuss. Thank you very much. At the moment, we're at the very brink of a third world war. Russia has moved about 100,000 troops to the border of Ukraine, ready to move in anytime. The United States President Joe Biden said it will be a calamitous mistake. They have moved so many ships, warships, and they are ready to fight. Britain is supporting America, and it may be the mistake of Putin. But Putin's claim has been that the West wants to take Ukraine, colonize Ukraine, and his own security will be compromised. From Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, 7 minutes will be the amount of time that a nuclear weapon will be devastating within Moscow. For that reason, they want to take over Ukraine or at least put someone there who will be one of them. So, this is the challenge that the world is having right now. Putin appears not to be backing down, and Joe Biden and the rest, they say, we are going to face you. Is this the beginning of another third world war, or is just going to be a cold war, Ambassador?
Well, thank you very much. The what we are facing at the moment is Putin reacting to, again, it's been on this game for quite some time. You know, he used to preside over the USSR. The USSR was balkanized into pieces of states here and there, and Putin still wants to have some political influence, even economic influence on those former USSR states. And we see what happened in Crimea. In Crimea, he invaded the country, and all efforts to persuade um, Putin to draw back. He has not. Instead, he has this territorial ambition. He wants to bring back some of these countries back to Russia. And he's very nervous and he's very afraid. And when it comes to NATO being at his backyard, he feels more threatened. And and then the economic sanctions on Russia is biting very, very hard. The economy is in bad shape. Politically, he is also in bad shape, and he will fight by all means to make sure that at least let the other world powers, USA, UK, Germany, recognize that he's still there, and he's.
I have a problem with the rest of Europe, Germany, France, Italy. It appears they're not on the same page with the UK and USA. But Mark is in Milan. Mark, what is going on? What's the position of Europe?
No. So, Dr. Shagun, Europe is taking a hard stand now. Yesterday, President Macron of France came out loud and clear, and they are being backed up also by NATO. Now, we all know how Russia is and how Putin reacts. Putin, we know what happened. This whole thing started with the taking over Crimea. Crimea is a peninsula right there, border between Ukraine and border between Russia. Now, Crimea is a very integral peninsula. It's rich, oil rich. It has so many benefits, and the Russians has taken it. Now they are encroaching into Ukraine, which is not supposed to. So all this is also Putin trying to show his power, his trying to make the West know that The Russians are not the Russia they think they are. So they are built up in the border lines. Yesterday, there were some real strong military drillings, and Russia is trying to do this to destabilize that country, Ukraine. The Ukrainians are not happy. Take note also, Ukraine is a member of NATO, and NATO has said they will come in if anything goes beyond in the border. So as many as 100,000 Russian troops have been pushed into the Ukraine border. And this morning also, President Joe Biden and some European leaders gave strong warning to Putin to move back. So we're seeing a lot of back and forth instruction, back and forth battle cry, and we don't know what might happen next, but we know that Russia could back down, because when you have America, NATO, and everybody telling you to stop the aggression, you have no choice than to stop it. So this is what is happening in Far East Europe.
Okay, thank you for bringing that European perspective. Do you have Dr. Sita on now?
No, sir, he's still not there.
It's still a war. All right, we'll leave it there, because this Ukraine issue is a very serious one, and we don't want any third world war at all. I'm not sure that Africa is aware the kind of war that is going to happen. Diva Books, are you guys copying what may happen? Because these people, they're ready to go to war, serious war.
My question is, how does it affect Nigerians in the zones we're talking about? Are we prepared to evacuate our people if necessary? Because war is a very serious issue. And if Russia refuses to back down and they escalate the problem further, war is never a nice thing. War is never a nice thing. So
in fact, you use the right word there, evacuate. The British have evacuated all their citizens. The Americans, their citizens, especially at the embassies. And so everybody knows that something big is about to happen.
Yes,
President Biden yesterday was
are we ready? Are we ready as Nigerians to, what is the plan? What is the plan for our people? That is my question.
Let me tell you how big it's going to hit Nigeria and Africa. Prices will go up.
We have a serious problem with forex exchange and the cost of living in Nigeria. It's already crazy. People can barely.
It's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare, because most of the energy in Europe, they're drawn from Ukraine. Most of the energy, that is the gas, the oil, and so if you block that one, then the fallout to Africa will be humongous prices of products, and so everyone should just be prepared. Those who can pray. Let me spend some time with Mrs. Yetunde Johnson. You are starting an NGO. Could you tell us the name of your NGO?
After considering so many options, I just came to the conclusion that it could be broken but hopeful.
Broken but hopeful. What are we talking about, ma'am?
What is it?
I say, what are we talking about? Who are these broken people, and why do you want to help them?
The downtrodden, especially in marriages and everything. Those who have been abused in a way, and then those who have been, most times when it's not only the physical abuse that is obvious. It could be the mental abuse, the mental intimidation. The fact that you're the person you were before. Somebody has I would say, realize and then make sure that you are not that person anymore. Like the downtrodden. You look down on yourself, you don't even believe in yourself anymore. So all those things, really weighs you down, especially if you have aspiration to do things for yourself. in the future, especially if you're an energetic person in the past. Everything just brings you down and you're down and out. So with that, when you're abused, it really affects you a lot. It stops you from looking at yourself as a person. So
Wow.
in the moment of that,
Do you reckon this happens to many women in Nigeria?
yes, I do. And I think it's even getting worse each day, unfortunately, because people in Nigeria say women as, I wouldn't say maybe, not even a second class citizen, maybe even a fourth or fifth class citizen. So they're just there. And then anything
Yeah.
that is bad is women. Oh, why are you talking like a woman? I mean, where does that come from? Why are you behaving
Yeah.
like a woman? Where does that come from? They make
And
us
there is no help for these women.
none at all. Unfortunately, although some people are springing up in churches and the rest to assist, but that is not enough because it's getting worse each day, I will imagine. It's a world thing. It's all over the world, there's no doubt. But then we are just
Mm.
concentrating more on Nigeria issue, to see
So,
what we can do to be of help.
what kind of help will broken but hopeful? What kind of help will you now render
Yeah,
to such people?
part of the vision is embracing women in crisis, family
Mm.
intervention and support. Ultimately,
Okay.
having a 24 hours crisis hotline where somebody who at the moment it could be that very time he has been attacked, she has been attacked, and she doesn't know what to do or where to go. Then there's a 24 hours phone line crisis where you can call into and ask, and then the next step is come in or find yourself into there, and then from there we take it off from there. At least the temporary reassurance of making sure that she's okay, that she doesn't even start thinking about, maybe committing suicide or any of those things. And then maybe she has children that she has left behind while running away, or she has packed the children with her while still running away. All those things have to be taken into consideration. It's a lot of work. There's no doubt about it. And it's a
Okay,
lot
let me ask
of,
the lady also with us in the studio, Diva Books. Diva
yeah.
Books, what contribution can you put into these? Some women in Nigeria, not in Nigeria alone, having to suffer abuse, violence, and the system is not taking care of them.
Well, there are a couple of units that do look into these issues in Nigeria. I happen to sit on the board of an NGO called the Distinguished Ladies Initiative. We have a unit. We have a unit for abused women and children, both physically and mentally abused women and children. And like Miss Johnson said, there is not enough. There's WARIF. They are a big organization. They've been around for a while. The Kudirat Abiola Foundation, they've been doing some stuff for women and children for a long time. So there are a couple of individuals who are trying to help, these women, especially with mental health issues, because it's one thing to be abused physically, and then it's another thing for your mental state to be, addressed. And unfortunately, in Nigeria, in Africa as a whole, we don't take mental health issues too seriously. But there are a lot of people walking around in Nigeria with serious mental health issues, and it's almost not discussed. But
Why do you think this is prevalent? Has it got to do with our culture where we're patriarchal and we don't care
yes,
about the status of the woman?
predominantly so. Predominantly
Mm,
so, I would say. It's always been a thing of maybe from our backgrounds or from our history or from our culture or tradition that
mm,
women should just accept whatever is given to them. If your husband wants to marry 5 women, that's fine. He's not supposed to bother you. If he has 20 children somewhere else, that's fine. You just need to accept it. If he beats you, then you did something wrong. It's your fault that your husband should batter you. So I mean, this is a really serious issue, and Sisi Yetunde, I'd like to say thank you very much for this initiative. It's a beautiful one, and we just need to keep trying. But there is a police unit that assist. I think it's at Alausa, yeah, because we've handled a couple of cases with that unit in the past, and they're always willing to help. The distinguished ladies have an affiliation with some female police officers. I'll be glad to share um, their contacts with you. They're always up and ready to help with whatever cases. If there has to be an arrest or an investigation done, then these ladies have been fantastic. And please, we need to talk more about this. We need to create the awareness, and
I'm going to
it's just something that goes on and on and on.
I'm going to ask the studio to put up her email address so that whoever wants to contact her could do so, and also her WhatsApp telephone number so that Mrs. Johnson, you were saying that you want to raise up a place where you could shelter those who have been abused and no one else will take them. What part of Lagos will you like to raise up a building? Because the practicality is that they need to be in a safe haven. Here in the United Kingdom, there are different safe havens from battered women that the ex-husband will not even know, and they try to shelter them. And you were saying you want something like that. So, what area will you want to have such a building so that people who are listening to you and can give you a help can know what you have in mind?
Okay. I know that the Lekki area now is now a fast growing area, for residency and the rest. So I would rather take the Lekki side and the Lekki axis, which is okay. There's a lot of population springing up there every day. And although it's not limited to people who live in that area now who are better, it could be from another place. Because while you are running away, I find out that most women, when they run far, and especially for the initial stage, they tend to have a sense of being calm. Because if somebody is battering you around that Akowodi on the rest, and then you can save yourself and be in an area far away from him, you will think, oh, before this man finds me, it will be a while. Because the fear is for her to be found so soon, and for her to be taken back, and for her to be battered all over again. So that fear will be a bit reduced. And then it's safe haven, really, like you said, for them. So the area between Lekki axis will just be fine at the moment.
Yeah, it's a shame that this is happening in our various societies, not just Nigeria alone. So we have to encourage those of you who have seen the vision and ready to help. And I'm glad that Diva Books has said that she's been involved in the distinguished ladies, and she'll be able to give you some tips as well. So, of course, you can easily meet after the program. And those who are listening to you all over the world. Yes, please do.
Yes, this is wonderful. I must really commend Madam Yetunde. We have really not done so well in Africa as a whole to the feminine gender. When I came to the West, this part of the world, I saw that Africa has done too. We've treated our women, the female gender, terribly. We don't. In fact, that the women are able to also live up till now shows so much resiliency in African women. They are strong to have passed what they passed through. So this is beautiful because
and then Mark, the battered women also pass this thing to their children. I mean, the children will feel it when their mothers are being battered, and it's not the best at all. And we can only thank Sister Yetunde for taking this course on. Of course, like we were told, others have been doing it, but if we can have more people who will be doing it. Now, the studio, can we have her address, email address?
Yeah, she needs to put that up. And
no, I'm giving one to you. Check your personal. Your personal.
Oh, sorry, I did.
Before the program ends later in the hour, we will put that one on, and those who can afford to donate to your NGO should please try and do so. I'm sure we have rich people in the studio who can donate. I don't want to mention their name. Why are you laughing? We have rich people who can donate to you too. You don't have to. We have Ambassador Nat. Ambassador Nat can donate. And seriously speaking, we encourage everybody to donate to these NGO, and of course, you can easily get in touch with her to tell you more. It's only that time uh, is not on our side. So, Mrs. Yetude, very much just want to thank you for coming to the
Thank you
show.
so much.
And I'm sure when you return to Nigeria, we'll be linking with you to tell us the progress as you move on. But
Yes.
you be assured that the diasporans are going to help you, uh, especially as you said that the elder women are also neglected
Yes.
when they are getting to 80 something, 90 something. They basically, if we can have safe houses there, that would be fantastic. And so we want to give you, do you want to say the last word,
Yeah,
Mrs. Johnson?
yes. I would just want to say thank you for this medium, which is at help. And I want to especially, commend everyone on the panel. My sister Ibro, I will look out for you when I get to Lagos. I'll get
Please,
to
certainly.
because I
Yes.
think, because the most important thing is to have the passion, and I can see the passion
Yes.
in you as well. I
Yes.
have it, and I really want to be involved. And like I said, on the
Sure.
final note, there's a saying that used to say, "You're never too old to set another goal or dream or a new dream." But with the with the broken but hopeful, I have this one say, "You are never too broken or dejected or discouraged to set another goal or dream a new dream." So I just hope that all the women out there who think things are not going well or who are broken and dejected, there's still hope for them in the future. Everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Thank
very
you for
much. Now
having
you
me.
have just entered the same level of philosophers like Thomas Hobbes. I never knew you were that philosophical. Well, we'll go for a short break. When we return, we want to look at what happened in Cameroon. Cameroon is the center of Africa as we speak right now. And we have our own colleague right in Cameroon, on the Cameroon soil, who is going to give us the latest. You had it first on News Echoes. Others can repeat us. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I missed your bit. I missed. I think I was on the advertising. I think you're on the delay.
Italy and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better. The Inside Story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment. A better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story Magazine. Get Schengen Story Magazine full editions.
And the AFCON is going on. Nigeria has been booted out by Tunisia, and so many jokes have gone on the social media that it was because the president of Nigeria called them. That's why they had that bad luck. Well, others have disagreed. that the boys did not play as expected. But we have our own diva right on the spot in Cameroon, on Cameroon soil. So let me hand it over to Diva Obuks. Hebrew, she's there. So what happened, sister? Why couldn't we just win?
Oh, honestly, I really don't know why we couldn't just win, because we had it all. I don't want to agree that it's because President Buhari made a phone call. I think that's
I'm on your side. I'm on your side. I'm on your side.
that's social media story. But having said that, like we've been talking about this since the game, and it's rather unfortunate because I think we could have won this cup, and we could have come home very happy with it, even though Cameroon were waiting to give us a run for our money. But I think, like I heard one of the commentators said, and I tend to agree, that there were a lot of distractions after the 9-point win from the first round, and the anticipation was really high. Everybody was in high spirits. Oh, Nigeria is going to win. Nigeria is going to win. I think there was a bit of too much confidence in the approach to the second round, and the distraction of earpiece, $20,000 or something for every goal that is scored. I think the boys generally just got carried away, and I don't think they put their best into the game. They didn't think that they were going to be playing against a very strong contender, which is where, in football, you always have to be ready and, top of your game. So I think these are some of the issues that caused our problem. And then
what was the mood in Cameroon when Nigeria lost?
Sad. It was like the country had gone. It was like somebody had died, really, because everywhere was fired up. Nigeria is playing; they're going to win. The anticipation was Nigeria is going to win. I mean, there was no doubt about it that Nigeria was going to win. And Cameroon, from my discussions with them, have been that they have been waiting for some revenge from one game before. So they were waiting to meet Nigeria. They were waiting to meet Nigeria and revenge. And so they were so disappointed that, that wasn't going to happen. But yeah, hey, somebody must win a game. It's a game.
Okay. Okay. The whole world would like to hear from you as a woman on the ground there. What happened on the stampede? Some people died. That's the news that the West had carried. People have died in Afghan. People are hurt.
It's
Tell us
true.
what happened.
It's not a lie. It's very sad. It was a sad one because it was something that could have been avoided. And I went all out to go and find out why would that happen. And initially, the story was that it was after the games, but actually it wasn't after the games. It was before the games. And apparently what happened was they had shut down all the doors except one entrance. And some guy had made an announcement that they were going to shut down the last one because based on COVID regulations, the stadium was a 60,000 capacity, and already they had about 50,000 in there already. And so they wanted to shut down the doors. So there was a stampede because a lot of people wanted to, just go and watch the match. Cameroon was playing. Everybody wanted to be in the stadium. So people started climbing over the other doors, exits and stuff. And unfortunately, some people died, including a child. The news says 8 people, but the word out there is that there were more people that had this unfortunate fatal,
incident.
Died, incident. So, but officially they say 8 people, and that's what we go by.
We understand they will no longer be using that stadium for the remaining of the tournament.
They shut the stadium down. The chairman of CAF said they were not going to use the stadium anymore because the investigations are going on as to why that happened, how it happened, who was supposed to be where, and why the person was not there. So they shifted the match that was supposed to have been played there yesterday, I believe, to another stadium in Yaoundé. And they're going to reschedule the matches that are going to be, supposed to be played there to other stadiums with a lot more precautions put in place.
Okay,
So,
I'll be coming back to you. Let's hear some of the views of some of the men in the studio. Mark in Milan, how did you copy this one? How did you feel when Nigeria lost that match and the aftermath? Nat.
I think the defeat started even before the match.
Why?
Yeah, the Algerians deceived Nigeria that 10 of the Algerian first 11 had COVID. Yes, and Nigeria thought they were playing with a second 11 in Algeria.
they even thought it was a third.
Yeah, so when psychologically they are going into that match with that mindset, that's where the serious challenge started. And when they got onto the field, first 10 minutes, 15, they saw it was a different Algeria they were thinking of, and it was becoming too late. It was becoming too late for our boys to reset their mind to play the first 11. And then the officiating was not the best, and then Ubegwan lost some of his strategies, tactics he would have used. He didn't read the first 10-15 minutes match seriously. His reading was wrong, and that's where the thing came. And then the issue of red card is also a psychological mindset. The man who was sent off. So this was more of a psychological match which Nigeria lost before we went into the field.
Oh, Mark, do you have the same thing, Mark in Milan?
Yes, the same thing. But like Tiva Obuk said, Nigeria, there's something we do. When the pressure is high, we tend to come below the standard. And the artists, our footballers did that. AFCON is going on. The All African match is going on. Take note that this was slated for last year, 2021, and June, July was supposed to be the match, and it was brought forward to this year. Algeria, that is the defending champion, was taken out in the group stage. So that we came to that level was also not too bad, but we could have done more.
Mark, can you believe Gambia is on? Gambia
is on. Can you imagine?
Gambia is on. Gambia. How many people are in Gambia?
And the AFCON, one thing about this tournament is it's one very special football festival for Africans. We love this period of time. We all want to, no matter how it turns out. So that the heavyweights are going out and the lesser heavyweights are still remaining is really interesting.
Oh, thank you very much, Mark. Let me return to our sister in Cameroon. So what's the mood in Cameroon right now? They're so happy they're likely to pick up the trophy because Nigeria is not there. That is one major problem out of their way. Egypt is not there. Another major problem out of their way. So are they hopeful to pick it up now?
Oh, they feel confident, but they shouldn't make the same mistake that Nigeria made by being overconfident because they'll be surprised who will jump up at them and just bite them. So
especially those Tunisians, I don't trust
them. Just like Legend Mark said, when it comes to football, you have to be at the top of your game at every second. Every second counts. You can't just sit back and say, "Oh, that's a small team. We're going to deal with them." So yeah, but Cameroon is hopeful. Cameroon is hopeful.
Okay, Sister Yetunde is back now. So, Sister Yetunde, do we learn any lesson from there?
I'm not really a football, crazy person. maybe one of the reasons it could be a matter of justice, because I believe that people play football, they love what they're doing, and they're making millions out of it. Whereas the
Yeah.
people who go watching are the ones doing the suffering, because you have hypertension, you are excited, you are this, you are that. All for what? Not that I hate it, but I'm not just, and I don't
But
get the
one beauty is that it brings Nigeria together. You
like
can't hear
it
Igbo
does.
outside Yoruba.
But then, sorry to cut you in, but then most times electors forget our real problems, and then we now face
Well,
what
that's
is
what that's
very
what
temporary.
entertainment and sport. That's what entertainment and sport is supposed to do. Make
Yeah,
you see. I
well,
mean,
yeah,
entertainment and sport is supposed to be an escape for,
I know,
from reality.
just like
If
hard drugs too. It makes you have a
if
temporary whatever, and then then the next day you go back to square one again. Anyway, it's still
let me
okay.
tell you something.
Hmm?
Here today, let me tell you something.
Okay.
If the politicians do not
Mhm.
see something to take the minds of the people away from politics, economics, and all the
Mm.
rest, they will be out of there in 24 hours. So the
Maybe,
Yes.
government
maybe
will
it's better
always
that
put
way.
money to sports, to entertainment, to films that will make us happy and forget the bad rulership they're giving. I'm saying this one from the point of political science. They know what they're doing. So
Yeah. Because
so that's why they
Well,
are friends.
I can't imagine
well,
where you have an average Nigerian now who cannot eat 3 square meals, and they're promising $20,000 per goal for somebody. I mean, how do you do that? That
but
money
that's
could be
not.
spread to so many things. It could be
No, that's
even
not
for
a.
the
That's
thing
not
we are
a.
talking
That's
about,
not a government promise, though.
which is not okay.
It's not a
I'm
government
not
promise.
going
That's.
to
I
do
mean,
that.
that's a private promise.
Oh,
Yeah, you
so
can
can
spend
you
your
imagine
money the way you like.
the,
Yeah, as a
the
private
private,
individual, you can do what you like with your money.
if I
That's
have that type
correct.
of money, I know what I'm going to do to help people
Well,
win.
that's that's
Okay,
your
No, that's
priority.
actually, Onyema, to be fair to him, has been doing something that will bring Nigerians together. Look at how he
Yes,
went to South Africa. Look at the
yes,
amount of philanthropic things he's been doing.
yes,
So if
yes,
he recognized that football could bring us together again,
yes.
and he was doing it for Nigeria, so we could say he's doing something good. But we'll leave it at that and move on straight to our next topic.
Dr. Johnson, just 1 minute.
Yes,
The
okay.
the issue of $20,000, 10,000 is meaningless. Those professional footballers are earning that amount a day in Europe. And
My
so it
goodness.
wasn't, it really wasn't the issue of
Oh God.
distraction money. No.
Oh God, Ambassador, give me
Yes, sir.
$20,000 now, and I'll be jumping for Nigeria.
You don't need to jump. Just sit
But
down.
perhaps it was the officials that were excited about it.
Yeah, because some Nigerian players don't play in the West, so those ones will jump at $20,000, won't they? But
But
ladies and
sorry,
gentlemen,
let me. Can I
Shadow,
just
Dr.
quickly drop
Shadow,
something? Let me quickly
yes,
drop something here.
yes,
My
do
brother was the board member of Nigerian Football Federation, and he was on an
okay.
interview yesterday on TVC, and he said something that really caught my attention.
Mm,
He said we focus on the international a little bit too much. We need to come home and focus on the local leagues, and that made a
yeah,
big impression on me because in Nigeria we have a lot of talent here, and
agree.
the government just needs to pay attention to the talent that we have here and try to develop it. So I just wanted to drop that.
And without money, you can't develop talent. The twenty thousand
Yeah,
dollars will have helped some people to help the younger ones to come up. Mark, you wanted to say something?
absolutely.
yes,
Yeah,
it's almost what she just said. I was going to say we need to think inward, building the Nigerian talents and numerous talents in that country. And
You
yeah,
remember the days of Rangers versus RICC, the
yes,
days of Abiola Babes and all those.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
and Iwanyamu boys.
Mm.
But we've lost all those ones to Manchester United and Newcastle. Well,
Yeah.
we just
Okay.
have to move
Also,
on from
also,
football.
also, Dr. Shagun, there are phone calls were coming in from different social platform, and phone calls and texts.
Can we
Somebody,
please?
yes,
Okay, go on.
a European scholar said, called to say, what's Africa's connection with Ukraine and Russia? How does this whole thing affect Africa Ukraine, Russia, and all these.
Okay, very easy to answer. Very easy to answer. Most of the products we Africans buy, they are from Europe. And if energy prices go up 3 times, the final cost of production will be passed on to the consumers, Africans. And Africans are not known to consume what they produce. They consume from abroad. So all the cost of the war will be passed on to Africans. So it is in the interest of Africans to be interested in the war that is about to happen. Like what concerned us with the Second World War. But people are taking from Africa to go and fight the Second World War. So that's the situation right now.
Okay, good. Thank you, sir. And another Russian. This is a Russian person. I can't pronounce the name. He says, whose side does Africa stays, if any? Which side? That's what he said.
You see, Africans, we are known to be non-aligned countries, especially during the Cold War period, immediately after the Second World War. The Soviet Union then and the West, they were in the Cold War, and the Africans developed a foreign policy of non-aligned countries. That is, when the East are doing very well, they support the East. When the West are doing very well, they support the West. So they are non-aligned. So in this case, Africa is not going to put itself to say, I'm in support of Russia, I'm in support of the West. Africa is going to say, hey, you guys, don't go to war. Nobody is going to be spared, especially if it should boil down to nuclear war.
Thank you very much. There are many more, but because of time's sake, I might just send it to you. Then what I'll do is reach out to the networks and share out the answers to them.
Yes, we know we're global, and we are prepared to answer some questions. And next week we'll be taking calls. So when the telephone calls come, please pass it through, and we'll take it. We have enough people to handle it. Yes, Ambassador Nat, crisis in APC. Can you please tell us in few words what this crisis is?
Well, there are so many factors generating heat and crisis in the APC. One, the caretaker committee that is still on led by Buni. Then the issue of the convention, the issue of chairmanship or national chairmanship of the party, the issue of the congresses conducted in 36 states, where we have parallel officials. Then the issue of their presidential candidate. So these are things that have been thrown up into the APC, and nobody is profiling any solution as we speak. The heritage or the heritage parties or those parties that merged to form APC did not really merge. They are still maintaining their blocks, CPC, APGA, ACN, and PDP itself, and PDP. So these are the challenges APC is facing. And we have the Ekiti election coming in June, Osun coming in July, and APC is participating in all this.
Okay, and you know that the government of President Buhari wants to remove the subsidy on oil. Is he going to remove it now?
No, he's not going to remove it. And again, I think this has nailed the coffin of Buhari's 8 years in office as a president. He came in with this security, economics, and anti-corruption. But all these have not gone down the drain. What really is happening is that Buhari is saying, I have come to the end of my wits. My tenure is ending in some few months' time. Anything coming, I just push it down the road for the new administration.
Wow.
This is a situation where we are in now. It's like we will have no government, no good governance until Buhari goes.
Okay, let me ask people who live in Nigeria, starting from Diva Books. You think if they remove the subsidy on oil, you think the heavens will fall?
The heavens never fall in Nigeria.
Very good.
So you think why will President Buhari not remove the subsidy? Then why will he not remove it if it's killing our economy?
Well, I really cannot answer that question for Mr. President. But he seems to have a plan. I really don't know what the plan is. And he's just taking this thing one step at a time. He would say, I'm removing subsidy, and he doesn't remove it, and nothing happens. A lot of people, some group might jump up and say, oh, blah, 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 and they'll be shout and they'll be blah, who about it. And, life goes on. It's happened over and over and over again. And nothing serious has happened.
Let me tell you my own mind why I am so much challenged about it. How much of it is subsidy removal? How much of it is fraud? I think that's my own challenge.
That's another big issue. We've had this issue of subsidy removal for years and years and years, and there was a big mess about it a couple of years ago, and some people were even arrested in the process, and EFCC investigation and all of this. But what happened at the end of the day? Nothing. I mean, it's just a roundabout, situation we find ourselves with this subsidy matter. And if Mr. President is saying, "Oh, I'm removing it in January," and then he doesn't remove it, and he pushes it to June, because last I heard was it's June, and then now I hear it's next year. Like Ambassador said, he's not going to be there when that happens. So how does he know that? How do we know that the next president wants to remove subsidy? We don't know. So really, I mean, for us, it's unpredictable, and we're barely surviving in Nigeria. I mean, people are really hungry over here. Like Cecilia today knows, people just want to be able to eat and survive. So subsidy or no subsidy, people are not even interested anymore. They're just like, you know what, if they're going to do it, let them do it. If they're not going to do it, let's just continue, getting something to eat one day at a time, which is, that's the main mindset of people in Nigeria now, at least the masses, So
here today, will you agree with our sister that the government, nobody cares about whether you remove it or not. Everybody just wants to get on with life. But if the subsidy is removed, I'm telling you, it's going to create more inflation. What's your take?
Yeah, beautiful. We love it. We want it. We love it. We want it. But is it going to happen? It's been happening for the last 5 years.
This type is very practical. I just like the way, and I think we share almost the same views with everything. Because when you look at the institution whereby people are hopeful for things, and they never get it, just get okay. So let's move another way and let's see what's going to be done. And that's the attitude most Nigerians have now, even to the extent that most Nigerians don't even know what goes on in politics again. All they care about is their WhatsApp and all the forwarded messages that they keep sending, whether it is false or not. Nobody cares. Just move on. Where's the next meal coming? How are we going to cope? Okay, at the end of the day, who is going to be favored by the subsidy? Is it we? Is it the government? Is it some few people? What's happening? The people who are making the money are there. The ones who are losing it are there. So I just like the way, Sister Ivo said it.
Okay. Yesterday, if I'm to give you 10 seconds, what will you say? We're closing right now. 10 seconds, what will you say? On everything we have said today.
Okay, I pray for a better future for everybody. And for a great life.
Thank you very much. Diva Books, if I'm to give you 10 seconds for the last statement of the day, what will you say?
Up Nigeria.
Yay! Ambassador Nat, what's your last take for today?
On a very sad note, we are not going to have any governance in Nigeria for the remaining tenure of Buhari. That's a sad thing.
We are not going to have governors.
Yeah, no governance.
Oh, governance. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. But that was a sad note. Nothing happened. Okay, let's have from Mark. Mark in Milan.
we should sit and watch the Europe occurrence, Russia and Ukraine and the NATO, United States, and all this. We should also prepare for the worst if it will be. Prepare for the worst.
Well, that is how far we're going to stay today. Thank you very much for watching all over the world. I want to thank our sister in Cameroon, on the Cameroon soil, Diva Obuks Ibru. I want to thank Sister Yetunde Johnson, sojourning in England for a little while, and she'll be returning to Nigeria, where she'll be carrying on with her NGO. It's my pleasure to thank Ambassador Nat Iyakwo, who is in the center of London and giving us all of the research, and of course, our main man in Milan, Mark Godwin. Not to forget the crew members in the studio. Until next week, when we bring you the latest happening around the globe, my name is Johnson, and we will meet with you in a week's time. God bless you all.
God bless.